Christ, man. How many of these have you got? What's going on, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror. I'm Morgan Film Fan. Let's jump into some scares. The Dentist 2 is a film that was released in 1998, and I reviewed The Dentist last year. Now, for whatever reason, this sat on my shelf, and I never got to The Dentist 2. I just never thought about it. I never, decided to rewatch The Dentist or anything like that, and I had even forgotten that this is a double pack and comes with both. So I randomly came across it pretty close to October actually, and I'm like, holy shit, I've never watched The Dentist 2 yet. Let's review The Dentist 2 for 31 Days of Horror. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And this is the direct sequel to The Dentist, which was released in 1996. So The Dentist 2 was released 2 years later, 1998. And it still brings back the same actor, Corbin Burnson, who is still just as insane, actually even more insane in this film. This one is still a lot of fun. You get all the practical effects that you got in the first film involving mouths and involving like practical effects that you can see what's going on inside the mouth where the drills are going through the teeth and there's blood splatter everywhere. You even get some pus scenes. It's pretty gross stuff, but everything is practical, so you it really feels like you're looking inside of an actual mouth when the dentist he goes in this one by Larry Kane, and I'll get to why. But the whole practical effects and the whole gore effects and the whole mouth horror, body horror elements are all in full force again in this one, and they really amp up the horror as a follow up to the first film, and it makes a great double feature. Like it seems like, from what I remember from the first film, I do have to rewatch that one too, but from what I remember from the first film, these seem to flow very well together and seem like the perfect first film and then sequel to watch back to back kind of thing. They really seem to complement each other very well and fit together very well. So what we have going on in this one is we have our dentist played by Corbin Burnson. Corbin Burnson, yeah, that's his name. And this goes small town, so he's basically running away from Los Angeles, where he was in the first film, and everybody knew him as a maniac. He spent some time in a mental asylum, and then he got released for whatever friggin' reason, and he's starting anew in this really small town. It's not exactly stated where, but he's trying to start fresh. He's not doing dentistry anymore. He doesn't have a license. And he's just trying to start a new career and start a completely new life after, going absolutely batshit insane in the first film. So he goes to get his own tooth fixed at this local dentist in this small town, and he starts to nitpick everything. He starts to, his psychosis starts to come back. He's noticing all the mistakes that this small town dentist is doing, and he's getting really pissed off about this. He goes home. He was getting a cap on his tooth or something like that, and then it ends up falling off, and he's literally in the middle of the road, and the thing is like, the dentist did a botched job, and then he literally just turns the car around, goes straight back to the local dentist, starts, telling him how everything he did was wrong, starts acting like a psychopath, ends up murdering the dentist, and then he basically impersonates the dentist from there. So he's now the new small town dentist, and he's taking the identity, Larry Kane, I think it is, of this small town dentist. Now, everything's pretty far-fetched, and you have to suspend your disbelief because he ends up hiring people. He ends up completely taking the identity of this dentist, where nobody in the small town, especially in a small town, would realize that That's not Larry Kane, but whatever. It's just conveniences like that are loaded in this film, but it's a B movie, so it's kind of what you're there to expect. If as a B movie, it delivers in the gore and it delivers in its horror, and that's what it's supposed to do. Its plot definitely takes a back seat when it comes to the quality of this film, 100%. So he's just it turns into a semi slasher. He's murdering small town folk. He falls in love with this woman who's played by Linda Hoffman, who is a very Laura Dern lookalike. She looks very much like Laura Dern, especially in the '90s. Laura Dern, like Jurassic Park Laura Dern, and he falls in love with her. They start going on dates and stuff like that, and she begins to show interest in this other guy that she apparently knew since she was a little girl, and they've been best friends forever. Even there's a scene where there's a lovemaking scene between them, so it suggests that they are more than friends. Now, I don't know if the dentist hallucinated that, because in this film, just like the last one, his psychosis is through the roof, so there's a lot of hallucinatory scenes, and there's a lot of scenes in this film that aren't actually happening, but he's just hallucinating them. So this guy that she is best friends with, or claims to be, he's in love with her, but she says that she's not in love with him in return. But the dentist, Larry Kane, I'll just call him Larry Kane for argument's sake, because that's how he goes in this film. That's his identity in this film. He keeps seeing her with this guy, and he goes to her house. He peeks through her window, and he sees her having sex with this guy, which is the scene where I don't know if that's a hallucination or not. Either she is having sex with him and she's been lying the whole time, or she's not having sex with him and he's just envisioning this. Because through the whole film, she keeps claiming that they're just friends, but they're always together and whatnot. So he has that's the catalyst for him to go insane again, because of the ex-wife that cheated on him in the first film, and he starts to stalk her and then bring her in, and the murders just keep going, and then you go to this climax where you have two of the female characters, the love interest. One, he's hallucinating, and she's like this Basic Instinct Sharon Stone looking blonde woman who's all like seductive, and she's got the bun, and she's all sexy and like lipstick and everything, and he's hallucinating that version of her as this like sexy, lying, promiscuous, quote unquote whore of a woman, and he's trying to kill her. But then you got the normal like hair down small town version of the love interest too at the same time. So they're in the same room. He's hallucinating one and seeing the actual other, and it just, his psychosis comes full force. His performance in this film is much more over the top than the first film. And I like that. Like, he is insane. He is like Jack Nicholson, The Shining, insane in this film. And he's just, there's scenes where like he's punching himself and he's like, I am not crazy, I'm in control. Reminds me of that line from 31 with Richard Brake. I'm not crazy, I'm in control. He does that thing. He slits his wrists a lot in this film, and he's just like rubbing his face with blood. There's a scene closer to the end where he has nails all over his face from a nail gun, and he literally looks like Pinhead, and he's like pulling him out and like going like laughing like all hysterically like Joker, like hoo, 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 hoo. And it's like he's really like hamming in the crazy performance in this film, and it's really funny to see. So it, like I said, it's a good double feature. It's a good follow up to the Dentist, and I do want to watch these back to back at some point. But I had just totally forgot about the Dentist 2 and the fact that it was in this pack, and I'm glad I can sometimes find films on my shelf that I actually haven't seen before, and there's not too many, and it doesn't happen too often, but every once in a while it does, because I mean I'm past 1,700 films now that I own, and it's just like, shit, I didn't watch that yet. Let's do it. Let's do it for October. Let me save this for October and put it on the list. So, Did the dentist last year. We got the dentist 2 this year, and I had fun with it. I pretty much give it the same score. Just maybe a pinch not as good as the first film. However, that may change with a rewatch with the first film, because I do remember the first film for the most part, and I do want to watch them back to back to really give my new score for them. But this one also, I gave the last one a 3.5 last year. This one comes at a 3.5 as well. So yeah, that's The Dentist 2, and they're great 90s B movie. I think both are direct to video features, and they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to watch, and they're gross. Like they're mouth body horror to a T. So know that going in, and if you don't like dentists and if you don't like drills in the mouth and shit like that, don't watch them because they're loaded with that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's The Dentist, The Dentist 2, sorry, and yeah, it was fun. I had fun with it, and I enjoyed checking it out. So finally, so yeah. Until next 31 Days of Horror review, until tomorrow, keep things spooky. Check out the other 31 Days of Horror that I've done this year and previous years. And until next horror review, take it easy. Enjoy the spooky season. Cheers.